Hey guys, today we are going to go over a group of knives. Think about 10 that are made in the USA, but they're not going to cost you a whole arm and a leg. Before I get started in this video, which is a little bit unique anyway, I do want to say thank you to all the channel members. Thank you, thank you. And thank you to any of you who've come in to check out my knife, my EDC content. I really appreciate it. I hope you come back. And if you're so inclined and you have the time, if you hit that subscribe button and you hit that bell notification icon and give me a thumbs up, it really helps me. So today I was going to take and look at roughly 10 folding USA made knives, starting with the Hogue Deka. Now the Hog Deca is available in a couple of different blade shapes. I've got both the drop point / clip point and my favorite, the Warncliffe. This is the Gen 1 Deca. They also make a Gen 2 Deca that has less body screws, and these do have original goat, aluminum, and titanium scales on these respectively. But these you can pick up now in MagnaCut for right around $139 for G10 and MagnaCut. These are 20 CV, so they've upped the blade steel. And when I picked these guys up, I want to say they were right around 118, and then I paid another, I want to say 60 bucks for the scales when they were doing some prototypes on them. So for, we'll just say collectively, for well under $140, you can find a drop point or a Wicked Warncliffe Hogue Deca for a really, really good price. Made in America, fantastic knife. Which brings us to another big, beefy American offering. Partnership between Sig Sauer, who is the OEM of this knife, and I think Hogue actually brings it to life for them, builds it for them. This is the Sig Sauer K320, and this is the Tanto. This is also available in a drop point. This knife is currently selling, this is the FRN version. They have a lot of upgraded versions as well, but this was selling for right at about $157.46 is what I saw it at. It is done in S30V. It has got fantastic ergonomical comfort. I mean, it's this polymer plastic fits the hand very well. The choils and all the relief, I guess because Sig knows handguns so well, knows how to make a comfortable knife. And this thing is very laser beam like. Front. Where I got it out of my front. Front to back. Back to front. I'm just chomping paper now. But anyway, it is very, very slicey. And very pokey. That's why I love a Tanto. But this Sig Sauer K320 is again going to come in at 157. You can jump up there close to 200 and get it in aluminum with some fancier appointments. I don't know if the blade steel's changed because I've had this knife for a little while, but it does have a reversible clip, and you can carry it tip up or tip down. Uses the bar style lock. I love the polymer grips. I love the finger hole. I think it's a very snappy knife. Full-size knife, an absolute winner. And we're going to say that this is a value made USA knife you might not want to pass up, or at least check out a little bit more closely. Moving on, we come to a knife that came into my collection a little bit late. And this is a knife that I picked up on the secondary on from a buddy on Blade Bench, and this is the Emerson Knives Mini A100. Not the full-size A100, but the Mini. This knife sells when you can find them in stock for right around $183. It's a very basic knife shape. It is a very functional work knife. You've got this double grind, but you only got this one side ground here, so you would call this, you've got almost two scandies and then one edge bevel, so just sharpen that side, flush this one off right here. Very, very thick very chompy. Again, under $200. This little guy is in, if I'm not mistaken, 154 cm. Let's see. It sits on here somewhere. I've seen it. It is 154 cm. I need to take this knife apart and do a little maintenance on it. But yeah, we're going to call it 154 cm. It is the Emerson Mini A100, a great little carry knife, great little basic bitch knife that'll get everything done that you might want done. Made right here in America. I think it's a great one. Moving on, we come to one of the champions in this cause, probably one of the best values in the game. Mine, this is the Doug Ritter MK1 G2. I got mine for about 150 bucks. Mine's in 20 CV, it's what they were making at the time. G10, fantastic, full-size Griptilian killer, Griptilian replacement for me. Did so many things right. Nowadays, this knife is selling for roughly, I want to say, $179.95 for G10. But the caveat there is you get MagnaCut on that blade instead of 20 CV. So yeah, that's a little bit of a jump, but we've had a lot of inflation since when I bought this knife. And to get MagnaCut, that's a win. These knives are ground right, they cut right, they slice right, they're heavy use knife. The springs, everything, if you compare this to a Benchmade bar style locking system, I think Hogue and Doug improved upon it in almost every way. I love this knife. Only downside, and you can't really call it a downside because they are available, is KnifeWorks is the exclusive dealer of these knives. It's an exclusive between Doug Ritter and KnifeWorks, so I will leave a link in the description to this knife at KnifeWorks. But that's the Doug Ritter MK1 G2. Moving on, we come to a newer knife in my collection, but it absolutely fits the genre that we're talking about here. Guys, this knife I'm going to have to do another video on because I freaking love it. I'm amazed at how much I love it, how often I use it, how much it's in my pocket, how much stuff I cut with it, how well it performs, how comfortable it is. But this is the Tactile Knife Company Chupacabra. It uses a super lock developed by Snex, if I'm not mistaken. Employs a MagnaCut blade that has a very nice grind, nice sheep's footy grind. Guys, this knife clocks in, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll leave a link to, what's it called? I'll leave a link to, why am I going brain dead? I'll leave a link to our friends at Traditional Pocket Knives. I know they have a few in stock. And these guys retail for $249. You might see a couple on there that are $269. They just have a Lynch titanium clip. They have both Stonewash. I know Stonewash is in stock. I know one of the belt satins in stock, but it might be the 269 variation. But I do have a code over there at Traditional Pocket Knives. I think it's either Javon TPK or Javon 10. Just take a look at my linked tree. It'll show you which one, or just try Javon TPK or Javon 10. But anyway, guys, this is a great knife. Aluminum, steel, MagnaCut, absolute banger. See if I can cut some paper off here. Thick behind the edge, thick spine, but very good cutter. Just a fantastic knife. And this is the Tactile turn. Chupacabra. I love it. I've got a Rockwall. This knife, even though the Rockwall is its own little milling magic dust knife, is fantastic. I love this knife. This knife lives in my pocket. I'm really a fan. Moving on, we are going to cross the $300 mark, guys. And last time I saw this was $303. Sometimes you can get it for $300 even before tax. And this is the aluminum fluted Microtech Ram-Lok Stitch. It's a Borka design, Borka blades. You can see the Borka symbol there, Microtech. It is in MK or M360 MK, their proprietary steel. Has a deep carry clip. Has some of the best ergonomics in the game. Has amazing detent. Flicks like a dream. Releases like a dream. Big, full knife that will get it done. One of the sliciest knives that I've gotten from the manufacturer. Let me just cut you a strip. We'll just cut a strip. I'll show you what I mean. This knife is a laser beam, and this is the stonewash stitch. Comes in a lot of different blade treatments where you can get them blacked out, you can get them semi-black, you can get them serrated, you can get them straight. I'm a straight blade guy, but I really enjoy this knife. This is what I would consider a full-size knife, but a comfortable knife, a hard use knife, but yet a very slicey knife. And this is the Microtech Stitch. Only $300 for a made in the USA, very heavy, able knife. So, one of the more expensive ones, but I did want to share it because it's a banger, and that is the Stitch with the Ram-Lok. Coming up next, we're going to look at the Benchmade Mini Adamas. This knife's running now right around $261. When I bought it, it was a good bit less than that. I want to say it was somewhere around the $230, $240 range. And then I bought these Applied Weapons Technology aluminum sniper gray scales for about $89 because I got the flat, and added them on this knife. So I would say I probably got close to, using the prices where I bought it, I'm probably close to $275 in this particular version. But guys, it's a great knife. I did not need to put these scales on here. I had the Holy G10 scales that it came with. They were absolutely fine. These scales just work for me because I'm not a huge fan of holes or speed holes. And this Adamas, has delivered me my most brutal finger cut since I got into the knife game. But that was me doing maintenance. It carries well. It cuts like a dream. I love, love, love that it's CPM crew wear. I love the Siebert design. I love the action on this particular Benchmade. Is probably as crisp and as sweet as any I have in my collection. And I do still have many Benchmades in my collection, and I do love them, and I will be doing some content on them. But this is the Adamas, the Mini Adamas in all truth. And it's an American knife, guys, you guys can get under $200. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a harder use knife. It's not going to be that little, thin cutter, but it's going to be able to cut. Moving on, speaking of thin cutters, I wanted to break out and rescale to the way that I bought it, the TRM Neutron 2. You can pick this little knife up for $210. I think they've upgraded their 20CV to MagnaCut. This is their medium version of the knife. They have a little nerd that's smaller. They have an Atom that's a little bigger. They have all kinds of different scales. I gave away most of my scales when I went to titanium. I kept a couple back so that I could show a TRM at its base price. So when they drop these Neutrons, and there are probably some on the site now, there'll be all kinds of scales you can choose from, right? Because these scales come on and off so easily. And while we're here, since I've been missing my tie scales, because I wanted to keep this knife in that very, I think 210 might be one of our lower price knives, but 210 is a very aggressive price. So if we take our T6s, I'll show you how to add 200 to it real fast. Take off that clip. The great thing about TRMs, if you have not experienced a scale swap, the trickiest part is getting the clip back on. So we got that. We got two screws we got to deal with. One 2. Alright, so we are free. Take number 2 off. 1. Notice how I didn't have to remove that pivot. Now watch this. 2. Boom. Watch this. That is a TRM Neutron. Now watch me gussy it up. Uh-oh, I just dropped out a few of the screws. That should be fine. We're going to do this. We're going to drop that on there like so. We're going to drop a screw, 1 screw. We're going to tighten it in, 2 screws. Now let's see how many of these came through. Neither one. Alright, so we're going to take this one, pop it through there. Damn it. Take this one and pop it through there. There we go. And then we're going to take that and that and give it a little bit of that. Take that. Give it a little bit of that. Guys, it's usually not this tricky. It's just because I tried to do it on camera that I'm fighting the gremlins just a little bit. But the good news is the clip is on. The clip is on. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this scale. We're going to grab this hardware, and now we have just effectively turned our $210 Neutron 2 into about a $350 Neutron 2. Because now it's full titanium, full dress, like a beast. Same knife, same configuration, same cool little dog. Just the way I've now kind of grown to appreciate mine. Wear and tie, the only one I have currently, I've got another one coming that does not have tie, is the Shadow. Because I wasn't able to buy one. They don't sell the scales. But this is a great knife, guys. TRM is probably my favorite USA manufacturer. I will be doing a full TRM breakdown and hope to have them on Friday Night Flicks real soon. So as we move on, I'm going to bring you to another one that is an absolute winner. This was probably one of my first winners when I got into the game. Something I really had to have. The hype train really hyped up on me. And this is the Protek Malibu. Clocking in this texture today at about $260. Today, if I'm not mistaken, they're being made in MagnaCut. Mine is CPM 20CV because it's an older knife. Button lock, probably the button lock that started it all. And I still think the button lock that all other button locks are kind of judged by. It feels great, has great retention, locks up like a champ, very well made, great warranty policy. They do a great job. They are Protech. You can get this guy, like I said, in stock, and I think they're in stock now for about $260, which brings us to our final and one of the best values on the table. One of my favorite American knives. This is the Spyderco Manix 2. All I've done to this one, this knife happens to be a Knife Center exclusive in crew wear. I did add the rock scale designs to it for about $99, and I did get Justin OCD EDC's lighter spring and ceramic ball to make the action that much sweeter. But guys, this knife cannot be beaten. It is an absolute winner. It is, what, $162, and then you add $99 to that, and you'll see that, you know, I had a good bit of money in it, but the scales that came with it are absolutely fine. The way that the blade geometry is set up, it literally just lays paper apart. When I put these scales on, I was able to lose the liner, so this knife automatically became a little bit thinner, and it took out those jagged, very heavily jimped liners that I didn't really like. I wasn't really a big fan. But needless to say, when we're talking about American-made knives that you can get today that are a really good value, when I say good value, I'm not saying budget, I'm not saying cheap. I'm talking about a good knife, well made, by a company that is reputable, that is going to give you service after the sale, should you require it. And companies that I've personally done business with over the years, had conversations with the owners in some cases, had issues that had come up with Protech and had an issue resolved well outside of what I was expecting. Just great, fantastic customer service. So when I look at these American companies and people say, well, you can get this knife from Riot Made and it's got a little better materials, or it's got a little better this, or it's got a little better that. That may be true. And I'm a big, you know, buy what you like kind of guy. However, do think about where you're buying from. Should you need help? Should something come up? It's great to have a company in your court, in your country, that can help service your ill or replace your issue. Not that any overseas company is not going to give you just as good of support. I'm just saying, in my experience, these guys are good knives. Also, the K320, we can't forget him. It's a good one. I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch this crazy video of some more value-priced USA-made knives. I know we all want to try to support America. Here's a great way to start. Guys, do me a favor. Please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.